As someone who likes the IDV lore, I found that the lore in this game mode is quite intriguing as well, as it gives us some insight into what might have happened during the elitist Manor raid in the main storyline. For those who don't know yet, the new game mode takes us all to one of Orpheus' novels called Bringer of Doom, which itself is widely believed to be based on the elitist Manor tragedy. This can be seen in the promotional trailer for this mode, in which Alice was absorbed into the book and experienced the story from within. The question now is, what happened inside the story? What is it that the story is telling? That's what we're going to explore today. Before we dive in, I want to say thank you to a certain Discord user named Ash from the official IDV Discord server. He compiled the lore pieces one by one so that I could read and understand them better. Well, with that said, let's dive in, guys. So, for those of you who are wondering, you can understand what happened in this game mode by unlocking lore pieces that become available once you finish certain quests. From all those quests, here is how the story was reconstructed. Set in Yorkshire in November 1873, the story tells us about 4 people named Harold, Sage, Warrior, and I. I acts as the central character in the story, with the events being told from his point of view. These 4 people were commissioned by an unknown person to conduct a more thorough investigation of a certain manor in Yorkshire called Winston Manor. This manor was abandoned after its last owner, Mr. Arthur Winston, lost his life along with his wife, Isabella, and his daughter, Jules. The police report mentions that the Winston family died because of a raid carried out by a gang named the Shane Gang, whose leader, Daniel Shane, and members, Patrick Doyle and Colin Fleming, had still not been found. Entering the abandoned manor, I and his teammates begin their own investigation, uncovering more truths about the incident. The scattered notes tell the story in detail through clues such as broken pieces of glass, dried blood on the walls, and so forth. But for a more convenient way of storytelling, I'll tell the story in chronological order. In 1863, there lives a man named Arthur Winston. Together with his wife, Isabella, and his daughter, Jules, he lives in Yorkshire, England, in a manor known as Winston Manor. Aside from the family, several servants and a gamekeeper also live there. Life in the manor seems peaceful at first, but everything changes in August 1863. From a newspaper clipping found by Harold and the others inside the manor, it can be deduced that Arthur has become aware of a robbery and murder case involving a gang known as the Shane Gang. According to the clipping, the Shane Gang had robbed and murdered a family in a neighboring county. This immediately makes Arthur worry that he might be their next target due to his wealthy status. From the story, it is implied that the Shane Gang targets wealthy people, robs them of their possessions, and massacres them in the end. With such a case happening in a neighboring area, Arthur becomes alert and concerned. Now let's pause a bit here. If this story parallels what happened at Elitist Manor, I wonder if Dennis DeRoss, too, had been alerted about what was going to happen to him. There have been theories circulating about this, which we will explore later. For now, let's get back to the story. Arthur's worries worsen when, in September 1863, his gamekeeper spots 2 strangers wandering through the woods north of the manor. He becomes so convinced that he and his family are the gang's next targets that he cannot sleep at night, resulting in him taking sedatives to help himself rest. And as if that wasn't enough, he also starts boarding up the doors and windows of the manor with planks, even working late into the night. One of his servants even writes in their diary that they cannot sleep properly because of the constant sound of windows and doors being boarded up. In response to the situation, Arthur writes a letter to the county sheriff, Barnes, on September 28, 1863. Sheriff Barnes responds accordingly, and in a letter dated October 5, 1863, he states that he has dispatched his deputy to search the area but found nothing out of the ordinary. Despite this, Sheriff Barnes, having already noticed the gang's activities, advises Arthur to tighten security around the manor and keep his servants indoors at night. Nevertheless, things do not improve. On October 9th, Arthur's dogs begin barking continuously toward the western side of the manor. Arthur also notices smoke rising from that direction, indicating that someone is approaching. Someone with hostile intentions. The Shane Gang. On October 12th, 3 days after his dogs start barking endlessly, Arthur writes another letter to Sheriff Barnes, once again requesting help and describing how desperate his situation has become. But after that, there is no response from the sheriff, at least none that we know of so far. Arthur isn't the only one feeling unsettled. His wife, Isabella, is also stressed. Still, both Arthur and Isabella appear calm in front of their daughter, Jules. Isabella, however, keeps herself prepared as well. She secretly writes a note for Jules to find, giving her instructions on how to hide if an attack ever happens. The note, hidden inside a wooden toy box, instructs Jules to hide under the bed should their home be raided. Isabella conceals the message beneath a false bottom in the toy box because she feels that if she tells Jules directly, her daughter will become frightened and unsettled. The servants are not oblivious to the situation either. Realizing how concerning everything has become, the servants leave the manor after receiving their final payments. I can't really tell whether the servants leave on their own or whether Arthur dismisses them for their safety. One thing is certain, the servants leave Winston Manor due to safety concerns, some of them even before the raid begins. On October 15th, Arthur receives a guest. That guest becomes the last entry in his guest book because the pages after that day are ripped out. This suggests that someone who visits him between October 16th and the day of the massacre does not want their identity exposed. In other words, they might be connected to the perpetrators. Something unsettling also happens to Jules. On October 19th, she draws a strange black figure standing beside her bed. The drawing is so tense that the paper is nearly torn apart. There are words scribbled beside the drawing reading, "The Man at Night." Arthur notices the drawing and concludes that his daughter had a nightmare, perhaps caused by all the recent unrest. What Arthur does not know is that it wasn't a nightmare at all. Someone from the gang has already entered the manor to scout the area, and little Jules either sees them or imagines them as a black figure.